Warning. The following podcast may result in inadvertent education and may contain self-indulgent, context-free humor that the participants believe to be both brilliant and hilarious.
You are tuned in to the Brain Software Podcast from Toronto, Canada. This is episode 170, and I'm Chris Thompson, but you can call me Fritz. Today, Mike, air quotes, Jeff, Mandel, and I discuss all you need to know about confidence, so stay tuned.
When drumming comes and juju, a hand comes from the wall, releasing bursts of fragrance into the banquet hall. But seriously, ladies and gentlemen, here at Dealey Plaza, it's always November 22nd, 1963. I like to make a point of purchasing a really nice motorcade postcard whenever I visit the grassy knoll, along with a packet of brown envelopes and some malt vinegar. Because it's always about vinegar when you really think about it, which begs the question, whatever happened to that old tranquility we used to know?
These are days of victory. Awesome. So let's welcome to the hypnotic courtroom a man who's met and shaken hands with Alex Trebek. Alex Trebek. My goodness. A man who's had a super elegant supper with the Prime Minister of Bermuda.
Correct.
And the Glenn Gould of hypnosis. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike effing Mandel.
Yes, Christopher.
Right.
Notice how
Look
I
at
shed the
that.
monk-like
I love it.
thing. I had an AC/DC hoodie on. I got my Brian Johnson
Speaking of the
cap.
microphone.
Got my AC/DC hoodie on. Had it on.
Yeah.
Got the Brian Johnson cap, not real one, but similar newsboy cap, 8 sections with a fold in the front, and an AC/DC shirt showing off my AC/DC ink here. Freaking awesome, man.
Fantastic. And I'm just dressed like the usual old me.
Boring.
All right, there we go. So this is going to be a fun show. We're going to do Think Tank, which you actually brought in person into the studio since it's a video podcast now. And we're going to be talking all about confidence and awareness of confidence and resources and all that fun stuff. So this is the episode that will help you learn to be more confident. And I mean you. That's right.
It's about you.
All right, let's get on with the show.
Well,
what do you want to do first?
I say we go right to the think tank.
Yeah,
and
let's do it.
generate 3 random words. And I'm not going to bring this all
While
the
you're
time.
doing that, I want to say I got such great emails. Now, get ready, spin it and all
You're
that jazz.
overlapping. There's a whole
All
ritual
right.
here.
We got some emails about the podcast.
Yeah, and
most people love it.
We fixed the cable.
And
I
we
don't have
had-
a Fu Manchu mustache anymore, Rob.
I think I had one guy who wrote in and he was just like, well, I just don't see the value of any of this. It just seemed like it was disconnected from any training whatsoever.
That's the whole point.
Okay.
That's the entire point. We got a comment on our podcast. A guy actually wrote and he said, I like the podcast, I like the content, but I hate that guitar solo at the end. It sounds like a cheese grater being dragged through someone's urethra. I thought, my point was, thank God somebody gets it.
Yeah, that's
Thank
hilarious.
God it's supposed to be like that.
All right.
All right, so off we go.
Think Tank. What's the
Yes,
deal?
right. The think tank. Some thousands of random words.
Don't
in here.
nudge any
Those are nudge.
Don't
Don't
nudge any of the
nudge that
computer
one,
equipment.
especially not.
Yeah.
This thing could go off. See all the words in this sucker? I'm going to crank the handle.
It looks like a space helmet.
I know. It does. I'm going to crank the handle, as the actor said to the bishop, and we're going to see what comes up. As the actor said to the bishop. All right, here we go. Oh, the damn thing's jammed. Do something entertaining, Chris.
As
Really.
the actress said to the bishop.
All right. The first word appears to be...
you don't actually pull them out.
No, you look at
You
them
just
against
look
the
at them.
screen.
Okay.
The first word is penis. Just kidding. Pennis. No, just kidding. Let's see.
All right. Am I going to
So
have to
here we
write
are.
these down?
No. Yes.
Yeah, I will. I'll
Okay,
write them in the show
first one
notes.
is bantam. Can you see they appear at the front here?
B-A-N-T-O-M? Oh, yeah, A-M. Yeah,
Yeah.
bantam. Yep, gotcha.
The second one is ministry.
Gotcha. And the third word is
Syllable.
syllable.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what does that make it? So in light
Penis
of
wasn't really a word, boys and girls.
the confidence is the theme for today's
Yeah.
show. So in light of that theme, bantam. Bantam. I mean, I'm thinking,
You're
I
the
don't even know
sports
what
guy.
that mean, but yeah, what that mean? English, please.
Yeah, switching to English.
I'm thinking about it being levels of skill or age or whatever it is when sports teams are created. There's the Bantam. I've heard of like the Bantam League. I don't even know what that means.
Well,
but
I'm just
anyway,
struggling to find something interesting or useful
irrelevant
in
what
it.
it actually means, because what it means to me is it
Yeah.
has something to do with skill hierarchy
Ooh,
or experience hierarchy.
okay.
So the more and more you progress in your development of confidence, just like I apparently don't have confidence in speaking plain, clear English today,
Have you had a stroke?
you will advance from that Bantam League to the professional league. All right. What do you get out of it?
Pretty much what you said. Yeah.
Good. All right. So then we'll move on.
See,
to the
when I
next
first saw it, I thought it said badminton.
one. Oh, badminton.
Because I was still reeling
No,
with
it said
comedic.
pickleball, Mike.
I was still
Yeah.
reeling with comedic horror
Oh, yeah.
at my own word penis, which I thought was so freaking hilarious. I've actually said it again. It's about the fifth time now. For what it's worth, I'm actually beginning to annoy myself. So don't write in.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Next word is up to you to decide how ministry is going to fit into this.
Well, ministry is a largely feckless government organization. You know, the ministry of boring words, the boring think tank words. The ministry of all AC/DC all the time. It would be a good one. Maybe not all the time. Ministry of rain. A ministry. So I'm seeing an organization that is in some way taking on or pretending to take on responsibility over a certain area. Do you like the way I said or pretending to?
Yeah.
So,
I was just thinking that there could be a ministry of Ken Sweatman explanations about ministry.
which I probably just hit. Okay, continue. What's the next one?
Next
We're gonna
one
make these
is
fit.
syllable.
Oh, yes.
Syllable. All right.
Well, when you said syllable, I thought of sibilance, and sibilance is the S sounds, which makes me realize I'm glad we fixed the microphone.
Yeah.
Syllable.
I'll jump in on this.
You
if
do
want.
that.
Okay. So I'm thinking about, we were just doing some script writing the other day. Not
Yes.
hypnosis scripts, video marketing stuff. Anyway,
We do that stuff.
one of the things that has obviously come to my attention over the years is that simplicity is elegance. And when it comes to confidence, I think it's important that we're simple in how we present our messages. We don't want complex, overly derisive explanations
Correct.
on things.
Yeah, I want to keep the glenation high.
When you keep something, what seems more confident? Someone who sort of, the body language obviously will have to match the scenario, but you know, I'm sort of thinking about all of the possibilities that we could establish with the growth cycle that we're working
It makes
toward.
me want to kill you.
You know, you say,
Yeah.
this politician doublespeak
yeah,
nonsense,
management talk.
or you just
Yeah.
say, listen,
I like your blading
let's-
the hand.
let's grow.
Yeah.
Let's grow this year.
Blading the hand to emphasize.
We don't have big ass multisyllabic
We'll
words.
edit that out.
Except for multisyllabic. We don't need big fancy words. When you're writing a blog post, you want to write they say something like a grade 8 level of education or whatever. You want someone who doesn't have a really big vocabulary, large vocabulary.
So you want to hire a
able to
lunatic,
understand this
somebody
stuff.
with no education to
So
write it
keep
for
it
you.
simple. You want to be confident? Keep it simple.
Ah.
Don't use big multisyllabic phrases. There you go.
You know, my wife is very, very clever, as is yours. And a while back, someone said to her, she made some random comment and used a typical word she would use in conversation, which is probably a high school level word. I can't remember what it was.
Like stuff.
and the yeah,
No.
and the response was, "You're just saying big words to try to sound smart." I'm not kidding.
You're just saying
Big words. Yeah, you know, a word like elegant or something like that. Okay,
Big
I just
words.
want to point this out before we proceed. And this is really key to this podcast. Heather and I were in New York City a number of years ago. We're at the top of Rockefeller Center.
Yeah.
I had an AC/DC scarf.
He's looking at himself in the
Yeah,
monitor.
Cully Hahn.
Just really appreciating.
Two Russian guys. She will verify it. Two Russian guys came over to me and they said, "Excuse me, are you the vocalist for AC/DC?"
Nice.
I said, "No." I get it all the time. Never. Of course, I don't. I said to Heather, "That was weird." I said, "Brian Johnson's an old guy with a big nose," and she said, "Yeah."
That's
But I
funny.
admit it, so it's okay. Okay, continuing with the content.
All right. So
whatever
we're
that
moving
means.
on. We've done the think tank words of the day.
We've got to graph these peckers. Chris.
Yeah,
they're not.
I
they're
want
not
to, you know,
fitting.
we're going to move right into talking about confidence, but because this is our third video podcast, so some of you may be finding this and don't realize that we've done 169 episodes prior to it. Most of them were audio only, and they are, of course, available on all of your usual podcast apps.
Yeah.
For iPhone, Android, whatever it is, Stitcher, you name it. This is a show all about us having a ton of context-free humor and fun, but also adding value to your life in some way to help you live a better life.
Even if you're watching and just say, thank God I'm not like them.
Yeah, like we simplify our motto as something like building awesome lives, helping people build awesome lives, whether it be training people to be hypnotists to help other people build awesome lives, or whether it's just delivering personal development, NLP, self-improvement content so you can build a more awesome life. That's the mission of the show here. So
it's never been about the money. It's always been about just progressing with the show.
I'm confident in
okay, buddy, confidence. Right. Here, let me give you my confidence definition. I thought this through, and I think it's a very good one. Confidence is the awareness. See, you must have the awareness there. The awareness that available resources are sufficient for the task at hand. Now, this contextualizes it as well. Notice how intelligent I can actually sound at times. This contextualizes it as well, because what it's doing is it's saying sufficient for the task at hand, not every part of your life. There's areas of my life I'm not confident. Is there areas of your life you're not confident?
Well, if I think about it,
if you should explore them in depth. You should notice how bad it makes you feel.
I'm not saying that you should obsess over all of the areas of your life where you really lack confidence.
There's no reason for you to lie awake all night tonight feeling like a failure. No reason to do that at all.
By the way, the embedded where's the deck of cards? The using embedded commands can be a lot of fun with people. So if you happen to own a deck of our hypnotic language cards, MikeMandelHypnosis.com/cards. They should be back in stock soon. We're just about out. You can have a lot of fun with these. All right, so I like your comment because we were talking about this in a separate conversation, and you said, it's about not only having the resources, but being consciously aware that you have the resources
for the task at hand.
So in the case of, let's say, this studio setup here, which we've just switched over to video, I need to be confident and by being aware that I have all of the necessary technical skills to get all this stuff set up for this specific task at hand. So I'm very confident in that. Not so confident that I could go have a conversation with someone in perfect French, because I can't. I don't have those resources. Or for that matter, German. Ça va? There we go. All right, so.
Okay. Are you a master chimney sweep? Okay. So, Chris, I got questions. Some talking point people. Who were or are the most confident people in your life? I mean, other than me, obviously, I'm going to be the idiot.
Obviously, growing up, my parents were very confident in the various things they did. And since I was such a science and tech geek, I always looked towards my dad as someone who was confident with, let's say, he was an engineer fixing something.
Okay.
So if there was something wrong with the gears on my bicycle or the brake or kickstand, anything, loose spokes, I could ask my dad and he'd teach me how to fix it. I was confident that he'd know the answer.
Your dad, is he a mechanical engineer as well? Yeah, my dad was an electrical engineer. He still respected mechanical. He said civil engineers weren't real engineers.
That was always a joke going through university. But they are real engineers. They build buildings that don't fall down, which keeps us alive.
Your confident role model would be your father.
My dad on the tech side, for sure. And then, later on in life, I'm thinking back to, let's say, going through school, certain teachers who were clearly confident in the way that they taught a subject. So I felt confident that I could learn it.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I developed my own confidence later on in life, more around the end of high school, beginning of university.
Okay.
And I mean, who else is really confident in well, you are most of the time.
I think. Shut up.
How about you?
My dad was a confident guy, but here's the problem. My dad boxed in the British Army. That's what he told me, which was true. What I didn't know was he only boxed one match.
Oh, and he lost it?
My mom said he got his head smashed in.
Oh, nice.
She said he kept sticking his face out at the guy and getting hit. So when my dad...
Like we talk about in jiu-jitsu class,
after the target. When I was getting beaten up all the time, my dad taught me to box, which was a mistake.
Oh.
I was confident that he knew what he was talking about. This was his thing. He confidently assured me if I would punch my opponent in the nose, that would bring tears to his eyes. And now listen to the vagueness here. And then you can finish him off.
So
that was the whole strategy.
With a tickle? Yeah.
I got my head kicked in as well.
All right.
So someone can be confident in a field, but not be...
Well, it's like Dunning-Kruger in that they think they have... We did that on the last episode, right? Dunning-Kruger? I think
we did.
So 169 was all about the Dunning-Kruger effect. So if you have false confidence a confidence that's not actually backed
Grounded
up by
in anything.
real
Yeah.
resources. You think you have the resources.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I could beat that guy in the whatever it is, right?
Whatever it is, yeah.
You know, well, we've all grown up and heard someone say something like, "Oh yeah, I could totally take that guy," you know, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And you realize, no, you would
Well,
lose.
that's interesting because you just brought up an interesting point that's not in our notes. One of the common things that people feel confident in is, do you know the average person thinks they could be a stand-up comic? And the average person thinks they can act. They think they can freaking act.
Or sing. Like
Or,
you know those
that's more subject to testing immediately.
well, you know, we've all seen those what are the shows where you the singing competition shows?
I think
TV?
that's what they're called.
I don't have a cable, so I can't remember now. So I'm not confident in knowing the
How
title.
much do you need? You want cable? How much? You don't have to hint. What do you need?
So oftentimes there are people that make the
news, 'cause they kill
the
someone.
comedy
Yeah.
clip at the end of the show, and it's like the guy who didn't make the cut, but he really thought that he could sing, and he's horrible,
Buddy,
right?
It's yeah.
So there are some of those.
But that's immediately verifiable
Yeah,
or not. But when
yeah.
people think they can act, or people think they could be a stand-up comic, they have no freaking idea how hard it is to go in front of an audience and be funny.
Yeah.
Do you know that you can't?
Oh, I know I can't.
Are you confident that you
I'm
can't?
very confident, knowing that I would
Itching
completely
head.
fail at that.
All right.
Yeah. All right. So we need to.
Let's
move
explore
on.
this.
Let's talk about
well,
it.
you know, the
How do we
wonder,
help
the wonder
people
of this
build
is because we're the
confidence?
ones in control.
Yes.
The wonder of it is we just talk about the 1 point for like 7 podcasts if we want.
All right. I'm going to let you drive.
Okay,
the
I'm going
bus.
to drive the bus.
You drive the bus.
Who were the confident kids when you were growing up? Who stood out as confident?
I remember there was a guy named Steve, and Steve. I'll just call him Steve T. In case he listens, I don't want to embarrass him. But
What was
there
his last name?
T. I think it was Trevino or something.
Okay,
Steve,
so now
Tre-
you just-
Steve
we said-
Trevino.
I'll
There you
have to
go. I
edit
just
that
got
out.
him to
Yeah,
say it.
lawsuit.
When I was in grade school in Ottawa, there was this kid, Steve Trevino, and he was muscular, strong, confident. To me, I grew up, remember the context here, I grew up as a very skinny kid.
Yeah.
I wanted to be big and strong
You
and
are.
have muscles.
Yeah.
Right? And I obviously have genetic limitations on muscle
Losing
building.
interest,
But
but
that's okay. I'm in reasonably good shape now and all that stuff, and I always wanted to be a big muscular guy. Steve
You're
was...
reasonably good shape. You do freaking handstand push-ups, you lying bastard.
Okay, all right, all right. So anyway, this kid was definitely much more muscular, bigger, and, you know, I thought he was the coolest kid.
Yeah.
He seemed confident to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you mentioned his name. Oh, hang on.
There you go.
Yes?
Yeah. Oh, hey, look, all these
that's
popping up.
Steve Trevino. He told me to tell you hearing from his lawyer.
I just realized the
Hey,
dog
the
just
doggy's
popped
here.
up
He
under the
just
table here.
crotched me
It looked
again.
like I was probably grabbing your crotch.
Yeah, well,
but I was actually just
not to say anything wrong with
petting
it.
my
Right.
dog on the head.
Yeah.
It was,
This dog
you want to come up?
flawlessly drives his head into my crotch every time we're doing a video. Just bang, headbutt.
this is the benefit of a home studio. The
that-
pets
that-
are allowed.
He is confident. I mean,
Yeah.
he really is confident. Why did you say it's a home studio? Now people think you aren't paying $20,000 a month
Yeah.
for this. Okay, so you know, with me, I think of a confident kid. It was Bob Daly, and Bob Daly was a tough kid in the class. And
Was he
wore,
confident daily?
Shut up. He wore what we called in England. They called them winkle pickers.
What the heck is a wrinkle picker?
All the Brits watching will totally understand that. Oh, a winkle picker
Winkles
is a pointed. I think the Teddy
Oh,
Boys wore them.
like the toothpick
pointed
thing.
shoes.
Oh,
So like such a point you could pick a winkle out with a pen. Like it's,
okay, yeah.
But they were for kicking people
Winkles,
in the crotch.
winkles are snails, and you use
Yeah.
little toothpicky
My
things
dad,
to grab.
any winkles, winkles today?
yeah.
Anyway,
I
Bob
ordered winkles in
Daly,
New Brunswick.
he could flick the boot better than anyone at Earl Beatty Public School.
What is flick the boot?
Kick someone in the
Oh, kick someone in the
yeah,
bag.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
he was a
anyway,
confident
he was-
bag striker.
he was very confident, and everybody was scared of him because Bob Daly knew how to flick the boot.
Oh my goodness!
So this confidence, we said you're not confident in every area of your life, though, because although we are drawn to other people who are confident by nature, we are. I mean,
Yeah,
human
yeah,
beings,
for
we
sure.
like people who appear confident, who
Are
radiate.
you confident
Yes,
about that
I am,
statement?
totally.
Yeah,
Yes, I was even confident you'd say that,
of course.
but we'll edit that out. So the whole thing, we're drawn to people who are confident, or at least appear confident,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Unless it goes to the point of narcissism. So this is on
Oh,
a continuum,
for sure.
right?
I can think of people I know who have that
You
problem.
just said you're self-reference.
Yeah, I
So
know.
you're a narcissist.
Yeah, no, that's funny.
Freaking narcissist. You only get a mirror and hold it up for you for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's true. If people are confident, but as we said before, turning everything into self-reference, that's not the sort of thing we want to go with. But the question
I just
is,
realized
Chris.
I'm punching. There we
Yeah,
go.
I was too, actually. It's kind of having another heart attack. Are you? Oh yeah, provided the aren't narcissistic.
We'll come back to that later.
We'll come back to that later. Are you confident in every area of your life? I'm not.
No, definitely not. No.
What areas are
absolutely
you
not.
failing in?
Yeah, what areas am I failing in? Oh man.
Where do you start?
Well,
Where do you
actually,
freaking
so
start? Here, I'll
remember,
make a list for you.
actually, after this, we're going to be shooting a video for YouTube on empowering questions. And so it's really important not to look at, like, we're joking with each other here, obviously.
I'm not.
When you find something that you could admit, okay, I'm failing at this right now
We have to say
relative to
failing.
what
That's
I
interesting.
want.
Yeah.
Don't frame it as failing. You're just not there yet. Focus on what you do want. Create your empowering question. Go after your outcome. So I'll just immediately I hear, where are you failing at? Ha ha, hilarious. What am I not achieving my desired outcome in life yet?
Yet is the
Right?
key word, right?
So, okay, let's pick a real simple one.
Okay, robust sanity.
Guitar. I bought that Stratocaster that I love. And
$7,000.
I've noticed I did play last night for a while, and I practiced again. I was getting into 12-hour blues, lots of fun. I bought a fun course that I'm following along. But maybe for a week, I had only played maybe 10 minutes over the last week.
Okay.
And I realized, hey, wait a second. I decided I want to get good at this. I'm failing at like freaking practicing.
Buddy, you're stressing me so
Yeah.
much because I've not touched my Strat in over
I know
2
that's
weeks.
why I
my
brought it up.
fingers are
Way
like
ahead of
baby's
you.
bums now.
Way ahead of you.
me.
That's why I brought it up.
But there will be areas in our lives that we have a robust confidence
Mhm.
in, and there'll be other areas, like I'm robustly confident that no matter what we do, at some point, your dog Ollie will come in
And bag you.
and bag me again
Yeah.
because he just does.
He does every time. So I love it when we're shooting actual stand-up videos,
We'll
and he
have to
just
edit
comes
that
up
out.
and boom, he's a small little dog, so it doesn't hurt that much.
Small little dog. Thank
Yeah.
you, Captain Redundancy.
Probably doesn't hurt nearly as much as when Carl Smith bagged me in London.
No, but you got him in Las Vegas.
Yeah, I did
It
get
was
him back.
Brilliant.
We'll have to post that photo in the show notes.
It is
Carl, if you're watching.
Chris holds up a beer bottle. Says, "Carl, you ever notice as Carl's looking? You just realize it's too late. Chris's other hand is
Well, the funniest part is I
Fantastic.
only meant to pretend,
yeah,
but
you were so
I
confident.
took it about an inch too far. As the
as the actress
I
said
didn't
to
stop
the
my
bishop.
anyway.
Yeah. Okay,
So there's a true
so
story.
you're confident that you could do that again to Carl Smith if you had a chance.
Yeah, I'd have to use a different pattern interrupt though. But that was brilliant. Right on the spot. I just held the beer bottle up because it was a craft beer.
Yeah.
I do allow myself to drink some beer once in a while. And it's a craft beer. And I said, Carl,
Admission.
there's a really
addiction.
interesting thing about this bottle. It's such a custom designed cool bottom. If you hold it up to the light just
And he
right,
just realized at
And-
that instant.
right at that moment, he goes, oh crap.
Yeah, and then the impact came, and you took a photograph of him lying on the floor of the casino.
Someone else did,
Okay, you-
and I
you
have
bought
the
it
photo,
from them
but
now.
it's
Yeah.
really great.
Now, let me ask you this. What are the best ways to improve your confidence? And let me just start with the most obvious one.
Okay.
Increasing your schema in that area. That's
Yeah.
the first thing. Now,
Yeah.
you're going to go through Dunning-Kruger effect right away.
I was on the same page as you, except just one step
Way
back.
ahead of you, buddy.
Going,
Way
yeah,
ahead of
you
you.
were ahead of me because I was
Way
literally one step before that. Going, you need to first realize that you need to become aware. Oh, we gonna fix that?
No, it's done. It's okay.
Oh, well, stop messing around with
Well, I'm
the
not. It fell.
nudging the
I
sound.
fixed
There we
it.
go.
It's all right now.
All right. We'll edit that out. Becoming aware that you don't have the resources. Probably an important thing to have. What do we do?
You look like a freaking news announcer. I don't
Thank
know
you.
what
Hi.
happened. There was a weird ecosystem.
I want to let you know
become
there's
aware.
a storm front brewing
In Malawi,
here.
there's
Yeah.
a storm front brewing. That was interesting.
Yeah. So you need to become aware that you don't have the requisite resources.
But I do.
Right? So then you can build the schema.
All right.
So,
No, so
we
we're
talked
schema.
about
We're saying
confidence.
requisite
We define
information.
confidence as having a conscious awareness that you have the resources to do a specific task
Right.
or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
Well, you need to also have the same awareness that you don't have to go get.
Yeah, of course you do.
And then
And do you ever notice, though, there are some people, Chris, and I'm not kidding here, they make their lack of confidence almost a talking point because they want other people, they're fishing for compliments.
Oh yeah, for sure.
you
For
know,
sure. for
well,
sure.
you know,
I didn't used to be all this confident, Mike, in delivering podcasts, for example.
you're just into the whole video thing. You have come alive since we've done video.
Thanks,
it's
buddy.
really, no, it's
I want
not a compliment.
I want to go after one more angle here.
Can you get a little closer to my eye with that pen?
Let's say, let's say you're talking about confidence in something that let's say you already have the skill
Okay, so I'll pick
to
a
do
pick a topic.
something, but you know that the hit rate is not going to be high.
Yeah.
Let's pick something completely innocuous, making a particular shot in the game billiards. So lining it up and striking that cue ball and boom, making that other ball go in the pocket. Okay, easy enough, right? You can invent your own examples if you don't like that one.
We don't.
We can make that shot, and maybe half the time the ball will go in, the other half it doesn't. Okay? Do we have the confidence in knowing that we can get it right half the time, let's say? Yeah, sure.
Okay.
But what if it involved a human interaction and, let's say, getting rejected in some way?
Oh.
Well, now, let's say the same thing happens. You know you've got a 50% so-called hit rate, whatever it is, asking for a raise, whatever. Well, people will be afraid of the failure. So one way to become confident is to just get comfortable with that outcome and realize, oh, that wasn't so bad. I was just denied. I was said no to, whatever.
I was said no to.
No, I said no. I'm trying to... Somebody said no to me. Ooh, scary, right?
This is going south really quickly.
When you get over the fear of
rejection
the outcome,
or fear of failure.
Yeah, let's say it's the rejection or the failure, if the failure is a rejection, whatever it is, that'll help you get confidence.
Now, that's really interesting because let's just think of asking someone out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah.
I was always baffled when I was young because all these guys who were freaking idiots and they were going out with these amazing girls all the time.
Mm.
And I realize now as an adult.
Like Shania Twain?
Don't go there. I realize now as an adult in my late 60s, as a senior citizen bona fide, what was happening was these guys, I think they simply were not afraid of rejection.
Yeah.
So
they
they'd ask 100 girls out and 3 of them would say yes.
That's it. The worst that can happen in something like that is someone will say no to you, whatever it is.
I got a flake of skin.
So there you go. Well, we'll edit that out. No, we're going to zoom in right now, right on Mike. Just zoom in right on that. There you go.
Leave it.
I'm just kidding. Don't zoom in.
Okay. So are we back to the Mandel triangle?
Yeah. Let's actually recap what that is. And since we're on camera, you can use like a fake triangle.
I will do that. So
there you go.
If you have an equilateral triangle, boys and girls, it's not quite as equilateral as it could be.
You can imagine one if you're not watching this.
The 3 sides of course, in the center, you've got the C of calibration.
Right.
So the idea, not C,
C as in the letter C. Calibration is always
this enormous C.
there.
We've made it past the North Sea. We're approaching the Sea of calibration, our bearing shows. Well, when you're calibrating, you're going to be checking always that you're getting a response, and you're going to be evaluating what that response is from the other person because you're in a psychodynamic loop with them. Now, having said that, we have the 3 sides of the equilateral triangle. So we have confidence, we have congruence, and we have intention. Now, confidence, the interesting thing is, as I said, we are drawn to those who are confident, but if we adjust any one of these 3 sides, because it is an equilateral triangle in the metaphor, the entire triangle will increase in area and size. So if we increase confidence, we automatically will increase our congruence. Why? Because congruence is when all our systems, internal, internal voice, everything is aligned, sending one consistent message.
Yeah.
As I am right now.
I think so.
Now, if I'm congruent, do you think I'm going to be confident? Well, of course.
You should be.
Should.
You should be.
Oh,
Are you sure you will be?
Necessity. Yeah. So then we have intention, which is the woo-woo one. Woo.
Right.
Scary that you're in the Twilight Zone all of a sudden.
I wonder if Ross is going to zoom in on you just for that part. That would be hilarious.
Well, he will now. He's heard you say
that.
Now we'll
that
have to edit that out. So here we have these 3 sides. We can improve our confidence right away by simply improving our congruence.
Yeah, that's
true. So aligning, sending one consistent message.
That is one. So how do you improve your congruence? Well,
by biting this thing off my lip.
What if, okay, so let's give people a few action items though. So does this work when you don't actually have the resources, the skills, the knowledge, the schema, whatever it is? Can you be congruent if you don't actually have those skills?
Well, I think so, because psychopaths can lie congruently.
Yeah, true enough. So you wouldn't want to do this on brain surgery. So in a way, it's the as-if frame. You can be congruent that you're getting better.
Well, that's good, because right away you're bringing up one of the key points. One of the ways of becoming more confident is to use the as-if frame. If you were confident, how would you act? How would you move? How would you stand? How would you engage people with your eye contact?
Imagine a role. Imagine your role model, right? Who's the role? Like, how would Brian Johnson stand when he's about to deliver a kick-ass performance? In front of
Kinda hunched like he
50,000
normally does.
raving fans, and you would feel confident.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So you can put yourself in that. You act as if. Now remember, we say the as if frame. It's not as if.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, you got
I'm
confidence
confident
as if. Yeah. So there you go.
But you could. Well, why not apply it literally though? We talk of column of excellence. This is a great way of getting confidence. As crazy as it sounds, it actually works.
Yeah.
If you imagine in front of you a circle on the ground, a floor, maybe 3 feet diameter, a meter,
A hula hoop.
a hula hoop size,
Like a
And
hula hoop.
It's. I remember when they first came out. So
Yeah.
shut up. So this thing is a column, like a laser.
Lasers.
And
Sharks
you
with
pick
freaking
somebody-
lasers on their foreheads. Yeah, there we go.
You pick somebody. He's just finally broken free. You pick somebody who's very, very confident.
Like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Arnold would do, especially as a Terminator.
Yeah.
But that might be the wrong kind of confidence.
Yeah.
If you're going in guns blazing.
Come with me
So
if you want to
this is me.
live. Yeah, there you go.
That's good.
Yeah.
Can you do the John Connor one?
No, I can't do John Connor.
No, like him talking about John Connor. Arnold talking about John Connor.
No.
How about
No, I don't remember any lines. I'm just thinking of like we reacquire him. That's what I would do. Something like that.
actually? What I find interesting is you got your hair like him now.
Oh, that's awesome.
Your face is sort
I
of.
just don't have his biceps.
Well, you're getting pretty close.
Yeah.
Do you like the guy so much you're trying to look like him?
He's awesome, but no, don't try to
Okay.
look like him.
So,
yeah.
if
But I
you
do
pick
like
someone-
sounding like
So
him.
we're back to our circular column of
So
excellence.
Arnold Schwarzenegger would stand there and be confident in that
Well,
laser
you're
column.
imagining him
Right.
there, and you're building. How is he moving? How is he breathing? You're staying back a bit. You're doing all this dissociated, and then what do?
You step into it.
Correct. Step into it and take on that persona. Breathe it in and feel all the strength, all the power, all the confidence.
Think
this
of
is
like-
a great thing before a meeting or something you have to do that's important.
Just thinking of Saturday Night Live on the mind here. I'm just thinking Mike Myers stepping in. I'm good enough. I'm smart enough. And
I worked with
gosh
him.
darn it,
I worked with
people
Mike Myers.
like
Did you
people
know that?
like
I
me.
worked
Yeah,
with him.
yeah, you
And
did.
he was also the
He
bartender
gave you his
at a
phone number,
friend's-
didn't he?
No, Jim Carrey did.
Oh, there you go.
He had his. He was the bartender at a friend's wedding. Mike Myers.
Yeah,
Isn't that
before
weird?
he got famous.
Okay, so let's
he's
get
awesome.
back. Let's get back to confidence, Chris, because it's kind of what we're talking about
All right.
today.
I'm confident that we can get
damnable
back to it.
iPad
We
is
also
shutting
have
down,
to
like-
make sure we leave enough time for our commercial break and then continue on with areas
I
of improving
plan
confidence.
on leaving enough time.
All
like
right.
Jack the frickin' time lever.
Time lever. Okay.
Okay. So let me ask you this. We said, we've already looked at that.
Yeah, we did the as if frame.
Oh yeah. What about anchoring? You can.
Oh,
find,
for
this is
sure. Let's talk
classic
about
NLP.
firing anchors.
Isn't it
Yeah.
great? Because when we've got video, we can talk over each other and it doesn't matter.
Mhm.
When we have audio, all the people still listening and bound by
Oh
old
no, we still have to
technology.
respect the vast majority of people who are audio only
No,
listeners.
I know. That's my concern.
I'm
Notice
making
how quickly
sure I'm the
reframing it.
Enneagram 9 who will make sure we're fully describing anything that we gesture rudely. No.
Like Jack the Rude gesturer.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
you go. All right.
Okay. So
anchoring.
anchoring is when you were attached. What is an anchor, Chris?
So basically, it is any stimulus that is tied to a response. In this case, we're talking about a neurological triggering of a state. That's what we generally want. We want to tie some stimulus to, wow, I'm confident.
Yeah, I kept notice the sound I kept making, and you
yes.
just kept going.
Yeah.
I was trying to anchor it.
I know.
Okay, so an anchor can be visual, something you see, internal or external. It can be auditory, something you actually, good guinea pig laugh, something you actually hear, either internal or external, or something you feel.
Or better, all three,
Or all
ladies
three.
and gentlemen.
Fire your anchor in all three systems. So,
So
what we
we like-
recommend, first of all, notice when you are extremely confident, anytime.
Mhm.
What are you doing at your best? You know, if you're a great golfer, when you're playing golf, you're confident. Notice your confidence and then anchor it. So
Yeah.
we recommend using the thumb tip to the ring finger of your non-dominant hand. Press them
Something you won't
together.
accidentally do.
Yeah, press them together so you've got a kinesthetic feeling anchor. Look at it so you have a visual anchor,
Mhm.
and say awesome, which gives you an auditory anchor as well.
Say whatever word means something to you. Awesome is just a word. It should be a
What's
word
this?
that you pick that
Well,
works for you.
I think it's the best.
Yeah,
one
it's
to
a
use.
better
That's why
word.
I
It's an
said it.
awesome. It's an awesome word. Do you know awesome has been a popular word since I was about 10 years old? I remember my cousin Martin. He used the word awesome when I was hanging out with him one time at my grandmother's house by a lake, and he
Yeah.
had come, it was rare that he and his family would come visit us there when we were visiting on the same time. Obviously,
Was there a funeral?
No, but he was really into the word awesome. And I loved it. I looked up to him because he's about 3 years older than me. So
Yeah.
that's a big deal when
Confidence,
you're like 10
confidence.
versus 13.
Yeah.
And Martin was just this awesome, freaking smart, tall cousin of mine. And
Yeah.
he was using the word awesome. repeatedely.
Well, now he's 48.
And I'm
you're
still
46
using
or
the
something.
word,
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah, well,
46 right now.
My wife
There you
hates
go.
it. She hates the word awesome. So I do tend to
So
use it,
back
but
to awesome
alarm
anchor.
frequency.
Pick a
Tuck an ear in
word.
and see what
Pick
that
a word
does.
that works for you. When I'm
That's
working
kind of
with a
interesting.
client, I will typically have them fire their anchor, but pick the word
Yeah.
that represents whatever outcome they're looking
In
for.
other words, the word itself doesn't matter because what you're doing
Yeah.
is connecting it to the state. Then when you're in a situation where you need your confidence, you fire your awesome
Mhm.
anchor.
So you build up the state, you get into it, you really feel it. We talk about subjective units of distress
Mhm.
in a therapeutic context.
Yes.
But in the same vein, think of subjective units of awesome, subjective
that's
units
good.
of power, subjective units of positivity, whatever you want to call it. Rate it on a scale of 0 to 10. 0 is you completely do not have the
Non-existent.
confidence. You're
Yes.
like a piece of paper that has been burned has more confidence than you. More confident. There's the English problem again. More
We'll edit that
confidence
out.
than you. When you're a 10, it's like you're on top of the world and you absolutely know it.
Yeah,
Right? You're
it's-
rocking and rolling. So where are you? Get yourself in that imagined state, that circle of excellence. You're seeing that other you or that model or whatever it is, and he's at a 10 or she's at a 10. And then you step in and you feel it and you feel
And
as close
absorb
to
it.
a 10 as possible. That's when you set your anchor.
And this might be a good time to cultivate an awkward silence. Good.
Okay, did you have enough of that?
Yeah, I did.
Hey, let's talk about some quick, just some
We
quick.
can't. We got
I
a
know,
commercial break.
I know, but I'm not going to let you. I'm not going to let you interrupt this flow. All right, so quick.
Tyrants.
Let's pick one natural
Let's
anchor
stop.
that you see all the time. I was just thinking about you see somebody who makes an amazing shot in golf, and they'll be like, fist pump, yes,
Yeah.
that kind of thing, right? Whoa, this stuff really comes out. So what's another normal anchor that you see all the time? There's in sports, it's yes, the fist pump kind of thing, right? Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's a fist bump.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Is there anything
You
else
got to
you can
hand it
think
to
of?
the Italians. They get the
You
best
know?
gestures.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I think I lost interest in it.
All
a
right,
few
let's
minutes
go
ago.
on. So what's
Okay.
next?
Well, we have a commercial break, buddy. We got to deal with this.
All right, Mike, I believe it's time for a commercial break.
Correct. Tonight at midnight, season 2 begins with great peril.
This is the ongoing story of a boy, an ordinary boy, who found a new friend. And this friend would stay with him to the end. And it all began in Newport, where the boy was walking on the sand dunes one quiet June afternoon, just enjoying the weather with his raccoon on a leash. And that's where he met him, the little white balloon. The boy loved the balloon and gave him the name Julius Schmidt after another balloon he met in the previous season. But things went south very quickly because the boy didn't know that the balloon had an agenda. The balloon was not a balloon at all. The balloon was actually an Alice with a horrifying agenda.
There once was a boy with a
baby
baby
raccoon,
raccoon,
and they walked on the dune in the middle of June. But out on that dune was a feeling of doom, because up on the hill he found a balloon, and the sound of a loon echoed that afternoon. Laughing like a baboon, he took the balloon, and he whistled the tune of a yellow harpoon. Then he climbed a pontoon with his friend the baboon.
He was happy too soon with the Alice balloon, standing on the pontoon in the middle of June. Then the little white balloon, it flew to the moon, and now he is dead, 'cause it flooded his bed.
The Little White Balloon, Season 2 begins tonight at midnight on the Jim Garrison Network.
Another one, a great way of getting confidence is DSIH, which we call direct suggestion
In
in
hypnosis.
Now, remember, a lot of people think you got to use regress to a time before you had no confidence.
Mhm.
Yeah. If you get someone who's good at hypnosis, have them put you in a trance and just give you some solid direct suggestions of what will happen, not what won't happen. The next time you meet that person, you'll be confident. You'll feel energy welling up inside you. You'll be powerful.
This is not the time for the soft, flowery Ericksonian language. Direct suggestion in hypnosis comes out of the direct model of hypnosis. It's not time to say, and it's possible for you to notice a sense of accomplishment the next time you head into that zone where you can feel confident. And that's right. I mean, really just notice the changes taking shape.
Change happening because it's
Okay.
yours.
So you will feel confident.
Excellent.
You are ready for this. You feel strong. You will fire your anchor and notice the amazing feelings and be so ready to dominate. Whatever it is, those
I get
are
an anchor you can
direct.
fire.
Oh yeah.
Okay, but
little
also,
white balloon.
You can do this through self-hypnosis as well.
Mhm.
You can put yourself in a trance. Now, we recommend one of the methods we use, which is not, I'm getting sleepy, I'm getting tired, my eyes are closed, which is getting silly.
Mhm.
Instead, decide in advance you're going into trance for 20 minutes so your unconscious mind can improve your confidence level. And then don't do anything, just go into a trance.
Yeah, you
Just
can
do it.
do nothing, or you can visualize, or you can give yourself direct suggestions. There's many things you can do. It's actually all in our course, Easy Self-Hypnosis, which is part of both the Mike Mandel Hypnosis Academy
Advertisement
and the
protected.
Personal Growth Membership. So depending on what your angle is, head on over to MikeMandelHypnosis.com/products, and you can check it out.
Do you like the way I did not
interrupt
the
URL.
interrupt the URL
Yeah.
because I was thinking ahead and thought, I'm just going to let him say this.
So you were way ahead of me.
Way ahead of you, buddy. Way ahead.
All right.
So, hey, how are we doing for time?
Well, we are,
Well,
according to
kids.
this, with some retakes and silliness, we're probably at about the 42-minute mark right now.
Well, let's do one more point, and then
All
let's shut this pecker down.
All right.
So, one of the things I wanted to recommend, and this is absolutely free, even though it is an incredibly well-loved and brilliant, wonderful thing you can do. Journey to the Castle. Self-hypnosis method that I came up with a while back. You can use for any purpose you want. So somebody can listen to Journey to the Castle.
Totally free.
Totally free if we haven't mentioned
At least
that.
for right now.
But
it
how
is.
much does it cost?
$0.
Nothing.
And you actually get to keep it. Like, it doesn't turn into a subscription. I can't stand it when we give free stuff away.
Yeah.
We give people free stuff.
Free stuff.
And then we give them the opportunity to also add one of our other courses or memberships.
Yes.
And they go, you said it was free.
Yeah.
Can you pay attention? It's not complicated.
Yeah.
Yes.
Order
you've
now.
got
Get a
this.
free Alice bookmark.
It's like I go to McDonald's and go, hi, can I have a quarter pounder? Would you like fries with that, sir? You said that I could just order a quarter pounder and I didn't have to order the fries. Yes,
It's
sir.
an upsell.
You can just order the quarter
Deal
pounder,
with it.
sir. It's okay.
Now, so what I'm saying, or was you can use Journey to the Castle, put your intention in the beginning of, just put it out there, man.
Yeah, decide what you want to accomplish.
Decide what you want to
and aim
accomplish
the hypnosis session
And
at
let
that.
it do it for you.
I also want to.
What do you want to say, Christopher?
I'm having a stroke. I also want to bring up this point before we end the podcast. I love this point here, Mike. Victories increase confidence. This is kind of going back to when we talked about rejection or whatever it is.
But if you hadn't said that, no one would have noticed, and it would have seemed like entirely new material.
Right, it would have. But it is different in a way that
In a way.
you
Cannot be
can
quantified.
feel confident
Yeah.
by failing at something and realizing it's not so bad. Life goes on. I'm not the little white balloon who
flew to the moon. 'cause
Yeah.
the bed was flooded.
hey, it's okay, right? you're gonna be all right.
This podcast has a refund written all over it, buddy. We're
So-
going to lose a lot of listeners now, but that's
You
okay,
can
'cause we
fail
do it
and
for our
realize
own enjoyment.
nothing bad actually happened. It's sort of like, we say, well, Mike, you offended me. That comment was deeply offensive. And we say, when you're offended, nothing actually happens. Nothing actually happened to you.
Yeah.
So the same thing, if you fail and nothing actually happened, you get back up, you pick yourself up, dust yourself off, send yourself home.
Yeah, it's not like
Right.
they failed to shock you in the electric chair. have to
And you're
do it
fine.
again.
But at the same time, when you get that shot in, right? Going back to the billiards example.
Yeah.
For those who fast forwarded out of the silliness, you make the shot, you go, wow, awesome. Victories give you confidence, right?
Yeah.
So go out there and make some freaking victories happen, because these are days
of victory. That's right. I'm back. You brought me back with that. That's fantastic. These are days of victory, and that's why we now need the empowering question,
All right, let's do it.
Christopher. Fritz, bring it on.
So let me find it. Here we go.
You can do it as Arnold or as yourself.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea,
Do it.
wouldn't it be?
Yeah, go ahead.
Today's empowering question, folks. I want you to ask yourself, what areas of your life are areas where you're already confident, the kind of confidence that I have when I'm posing? Which are the key areas that you wish to improve, and how will you begin to reclaim your right to be confident right now? Listen to me now, hear me later, believe me always.
That's a nice ending. That's good.
That's fun. I love doing that. There you go. So ask yourself what areas of your life are areas that you're already confident, and which are the key areas that you wish to improve, and how will you begin to reclaim your right to be confident? Because you're right about that. That's
Nice.
All right.
Well, I got a metaphor, which is one better than a metaphor.
I like it.
You're going to like this because it's another reference back. This is the Island Natural Science School and Bob Daly.
Okay.
Now, remember I
Okay.
told you Bob Daly could flick the boot better than anybody
He
and wore
could.
winkle pickers. Now, the interesting thing was he was a bigger kid than me. We were both in the same class, but him and another kid, we're going to call Neil only because that was his name.
I love that line.
They-
Only because that was his
It
name.
was his actual name. But they got this protection racket going, and I was forced to pay protection money to these guys every month. So to protect me, ostensibly, it was implied so they wouldn't beat me up, I guess.
Yeah.
But the idea
With
was,
the winkle pickers.
well, whatever. The idea was that Bob Daly and Neil would protect me from being beaten up, including by them, if I paid them the exorbitant fee of 25 cents a month.
Oh,
Now,
wow.
that's how it started. Then I had to give them a jackknife I had, but then they determined that was only good for one of them. The other one would still need 25 cents. Then at some point it went up to 35 cents, and I was terrified. I was a very little kid. I'd skipped a grade. Brilliant.
It was back
And,
when 35 cents could buy a
35
house.
cents would buy you an house and a Jaguar in the driveway. But that's a new one, a couple of years old, but it'd still be nice. Anyway, so this somehow came to the attention of Mr. Rowe, our teacher, and he made the protection racket stop right away. But we went to the Island Natural Science School. The entire class went for 1 week to Toronto Island. There was a science school there and a
cool.
lighthouse, and it was terrifying for me. First time I was away from home, and really freaked out. And I was desperately in love with Gail Russell, who was about a foot taller than me, and that was going to go nowhere. I was 9 years old. And Bob Daly went to Island Natural Science School too.
Oh.
But there was a kid from another school. Two schools were blended for the event. This kid was tougher than Bob Daly. And they squared off against each other. And Bob Daly backed down.
Nice.
And I remember thinking,
You learned something from that.
I've learned something from this. Bob Daly's not the toughest guy in the world.
That is fantastic. Thanks everybody for listening or watching now. Brain Software's podcast episode 170, which we now have to create a hilariously awesome title for, all about confidence. And make sure I'm going to give you a reminder of a couple of resources we mentioned. So first of all, the Journey to the Castle is at MikeMandelHypnosis.com/castle.
How much does it cost, Chris?
Costs zero. You just
Great.
have to know how to spell castle. If you can spell, or click the link in the show notes on our website. But if you can spell castle and you don't have a credit card, you can have the product.
If you eat at
free.
White Castle,
Yeah,
you'll
there
find it
you-
easy.
All right, so there you go. Journey to the Castle is phenomenal. The feedback has been amazing on that. When you do sign up for that, by the way, we are going to offer you either the Mike Mandel Hypnosis Academy for those of you interested in learning more about hypnosis, or the Personal Growth membership for those of you who wish to simply use these powers for your own self-improvement and don't actually want to be formal hypnotists anywhere in the world. And since we mentioned the hypnosis cards, should be back in stock, MikeMandelHypnosis.com/cards. These are fun and they're
Fun for
regular
the whole family.
regular poker cards with language patterns on them so you can practice
language patterns.
hilariously stupid interventions with your friends.
Excellent, buddy.
Or good stuff to change your life.
So let's just say
With that
thanks
said-
to all of you for putting up with this chike. And
Thanks again.
good night. When drumming comes and juju, a hand comes from the wall, releasing bursts of fragrance into the banquet hall. The chimes of solemn solitude bear witness to the feast.
The guests are gone, we're here alone. It's time you were released.
To rend your wrath, you usurping foe, releasing me from thought. Fly brisk, my friend, past mirror doors. The battle must be fought. When drumming comes and juju, a hand comes from the wall, releasing bursts of fragrance into the banquet hall.
When drumming comes and juju, a hand comes from the wall, releasing bursts of fragrance into the banquet hall.
That's a wrap. Brilliant.
All right,
Tonight.
Mike. Sorry, Ross.
Again. You should just say, all right, Mike.
Oh, yeah.
I'm waiting for it.
Okay, here we go.
Sorry, Ross.
Final, third time. Action. Because I read it badly. I've got to zoom in.
Bugs.
Okay, ready? And gave him the name.
Gave it the...